morning and welcome to Netzach Yisrael's daily Kitzur Shulchan Aruch Shir. Tonight we're going to be doing Siman Chaf, the halachas of the Chazan who repeats the Shemona Esrei, Din Chazaras Tefilas Shliach Tzibor. There are 12 Seifim and we're going to start from the Seif Zayin and go through to the end Yud Beis. Seif Zayin. After the Chazan has finished repeating the Shemona Esrei, the Chazaras Hashatz, Yom Balachash Yularotzim, we're going to he should quietly say the Pasuk Yularotzim when he's finished. Aval Isaiah Gimel Pasiyos Einid Tarich, but he doesn't need to take 3 steps back as he would during the quiet Amidah. Because you can rely on the 3 steps back that he takes at the end of the long Kaddish, of the Kaddish Sholim. Seif Ches. On a public fast day, when there are 10 people in shul who are fasting and completing the fast, the Chazan says during his repetition, both in Shachris and Mincha, he says the paragraph of Anenu before he says the bracha Rafa'inu. If he forgot to say it, if he remembered that he hadn't said it before he completed the bracha, in a bracha Rafa'inu, when he completed the bracha Rafa'inu Yisrael, then he goes back to where he was up to in the bracha where he's supposed to say it, and you say Anenu and you finish Rafa'inu. But if he'd already completed the bracha, when he remembered that he skipped out saying Anenu, he completes that bracha, and he says this paragraph of Anenu inside the bracha of Shema Koleinu. Then he ends the bracha as one normally would and as a Yochid would do when fasting. And if you forgot it there too, he says it at the very end of davening without finishing off the bracha. Now the Mishnah Berurah actually does allow a name to be recited if there's only 7 people fasting, providing there are 3 others who are prevented from fasting due to some onus, such as they're old, infirm, or sick. Seif Tes. Ein Omrim Tefillah Shemona Esrei B'Kol, Ela Im Kein Yesh L'cha L'Pocha Shisha Anashim Shehem Rov Minyan Shespal Lo'ata. One doesn't say Chazaras Hashatz, one doesn't repeat the Shemona Esrei out loud, unless there are at least 6 people who are davening now. That is the majority of a minyan. Aval Im Ein Shisha Anashim Shespal Lo'ata. But if there aren't 6 people davening now, then you can't say the whole Chazaras Hashatz out loud, but rather the Chazan says the first couple of brachas until Akela Kadosh, that means until after Kedusha, out loud, and then they say the rest of the Shemona Esrei quietly. See if you'd. Anywhere where if they were davening alone, the silent Shemona Esrei, if they made the mistake, they would have to go back and repeat the Shemona Esrei. Likewise, if the Chazan makes a mistake, if he makes a mistake, so if the Chazan makes a mistake, which a person would normally have to repeat Shemona Esrei for, the Chazan, the same rules apply to the Chazan, he also needs to go back and repeat and daven. With the exception of except for Shachris of Rosh Chodesh and Chol HaMoed, if one forgot Yalav Yavoy. Shem Shokach V'Lo Yalav Yavoy. V'Lo Nizkar Shishlim Tbilasa. He only remembered he hadn't said it until once he'd completed davening. We don't make the Chazan go back because we don't want to bother the congregation having to wait so long. Because in such cases we rely on the fact that he's going to mention it later on when davening Musaf. However, if they remembered before he completed his Shemona Esrei Chazaras Hashatz, they go back to Ritzei and say it there, and those couple of brachas at the end of Shemona Esrei, which one has to repeat, is not considered enough Tirka Tzibor not to do it. So if you Aleph. A person has a personal obligation to say Kedusha with the community, with the congregation. Likewise, saying Amen after those 2 brachas, after Akela Kadosh and after Shema Tefillah, is an obligation just like Kedusha. Chiyavu lanis alei, and likewise there is an obligation to answer amen to the Kaddish which the Chazan says. V'chein b'moedim chiyav lischeisim atzibor, likewise one has an obligation to bow when with everyone else when they say moedim. And therefore, if a person came late to shul, in a way that he can't daven Shemona Esrei together with everyone else, and therefore he's forced to daven Shemona Esrei by himself, if there isn't enough time, a person should watch carefully to ensure that he doesn't daven Shemona Esrei, he doesn't start late, in a way that it's going to transpire that he will lose out from saying one of these things. So in other words, if it means he's going to not be able to say Amen to Akela Kodesh or Shema Elenu, or he can't say Kedusha, then he should wait. But Aval, a person shouldn't pause right between the bracha of Gal Yisrael and starting Shemona Esrei. In other words, a person shouldn't get to the end of davening and wait to start Shemona Esrei. So Tzarich Lasmich Geula Tefillah, because we know that a person needs to join Geula, that means the end of the bracha that talks about redemption, L'Tefillah to the Shemona Esrei. But also and under any circumstances, it is forbidden to pause, to make any type of interruption between the two. But rather the bracha beforehand, Shira Chadasha, that's the long paragraph before Michamocha, a person should wait then and pause then and wait so he can answer Kedusha and Amen to those brachas. So if you're base, an individual who is standing, davening his quiet, silent Amidah, and when he finishes Machaya Mesim, in other words, where he's up to, where if the Chazan was saying he'd be saying Kedusha, and it works out that the Tibor, or the congregation, happened then to be saying the Kedusha of a Volotzion, and that means Kodesh, 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 and Baruch Kavoid, Baruch Kavoid, Oy Kedush HaSyotza, all they're saying it in Kedush HaSyotza, Ein Oyin Me'emayim Kodesh, Lefi She'ein HaKedush HaShabbos. A person should not interrupt and say it then along with everyone else, because those Kedushas are not equal. That means the Kedusha that one says in the Chazan's repetition is of a higher value, of a higher spiritual, a higher Kedusha, as it were, than the Kedusha that said during before the Shema and the Kedush HaSyotza and in the Kedush of Volotzion. However, if the congregation are saying the Kedush of Musaf, then you can't say Kodesh along with them, even though it's a different Shemona Esrei. Shabbos saying, and likewise the other way around, if they're davening, he's davening Musaf for some reason and he's listening into Shachris, one can join in for Kodesh, 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 and Baruch Kavoid, because the Kedushas, meaning the value, the holiness of each of those, are equal. Thank you for listening. See you tomorrow.